we're trying to do is to empower people throughout their life. So many people, they get to a certain age and they give up. They think, oh, it's all right. I mean, I'm 50. There's no way for me to turn my health around. It's okay to be unhealthy. It's okay to have pains and aches or taking medication, stuff like that, because this is what the society is around us like this. Everybody sees everybody else doing it and they think, oh, this is normal. This is what is supposed to happen. As we get older, we get sicker. So while we're trying to educate people and we're trying to show people that you can, at any age, you can start to change things around. You can start to become healthier and better and enjoy your life on a higher level rather than getting into, being sick or tired or not able to enjoy what life has to offer. So this is what our vision is, to elevate the health and wellness of the community, to educate them that what the body can do from within if we allow it to be healthy and to heal and to recover and provide it with all the needs for it to be healthy. It's going to be an incredible future for them rather than disabling future for them.
The following podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute medical advice or opinion. Audience discretion is advised. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Health King's Court, Ancient Wisdom, Modern Health. I am your host, Zach the Health King. I have a very wonderful guest with me today and I'm very excited to introduce him. He's the dynamic founder and CEO of PyroLife, a pioneering wellness organization that's redefining holistic empowerment. With expertise in chiropractic care and a passion for well-being, he leads a movement focused on spine alignment, nervous system optimization, and body strengthening. Through personalized coaching and mindset shifts, he empowers individuals to break free from limitations and embrace vitality. Driven by a commitment to personal growth, he invites you to join PyroLife's journey towards transformative wellness. And that is Dr. Rami. Dr. Rami, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for this nice introduction. I'm really excited to chat with you, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you on. The work that you do, I think, is very important and not enough people are doing it. So let's start with that. How would you describe the work that you do on a broad level?
So our vision at PyroLife, what we're trying to do is to empower people throughout their life. So many people, they get to a certain age and they give up. They think, oh, it's all right. I mean, I'm 50. There's no way for me to turn my health around. It's okay to be unhealthy. It's okay to have pains and aches or taking medication, stuff like that, because this is what the society is around us like this. Everybody sees everybody else doing it and they think, oh, this is normal. This is what is supposed to happen. As we get older, we get sicker. So while we're trying to educate people and we're trying to show people that you can, at any age, you can start to change things around. You can start to become healthier and better and enjoy your life on a higher level rather than getting into, being sick or tired or not able to enjoy what life has to offer. So this is what our vision is, to elevate the health and wellness of the community, to educate them that what the body can do from within if we allow it to be healthy and to heal and to recover and provide it with all the needs for it to be healthy. It's going to be an incredible future for them rather than disabling future for them.
Yeah, and that's such an important mission and one that I wholeheartedly agree with and can get behind, because I strongly dislike how people have been led to think that sickness and injury and ailment is an inherent function of age. People have this concept so wrapped up in their in their way they think the body works and that life works, and that you absolutely will get unwell as you age. And it's such a disempowering stance, and it's such a self-fulfilling prophecy, because then if you think that's going to happen, then you're not likely to take the actions and take the precautions and take the steps needed that will prepare the body to age gracefully. Or even on a deeper spectrum, when people get illness, they don't question it, or they get ailment, they don't try to figure out the root cause. They just kind of accept it and let it be. And then it just, of course, continues to compound itself and then with other health problems. Why do you think society is so fundamentally disconnected from the way the body can actually work like that? Why do people think that we have to get unwell as we age?
Well, it's the whole how the whole system is set up, and I think it started with lack of education, even within the medical community. The whole medical system is geared towards system suppressions, and if you don't have symptoms, you don't necessarily have any illnesses or diseases, which is far from the truth. Like symptoms that don't show till like later. The body has like a unique ability to hide symptoms and have a high tolerance of a lot of stressors brewing up till like something breaks down or the body cannot take it anymore, and then we start to having symptoms. But the sickness has been brewing for years. But we are taught to judge our health of the presence or the lack of the presence of symptoms. And this is not the way the body works. This is not how health is. And when we get to that point, we go seeking help and we get the wrong type of help. We get medication that suppress the symptoms, not going back and see like what caused these symptoms. What is the disease? What's the lifestyle that led you to this disease? Let's try to change all of that. The symptoms will subside on their own. If they are an acute symptoms, that's fine. You can take medications to subside them, whatever, so you can go into the healthy pattern. But the focus is just on the symptoms. All right, you don't have stomach ache anymore. You don't have inflammation anymore. Then you're good. Go back and do the same stuff that you've been doing. Eat the same food that you've been eating, right? And then you go back to the same point. They give you some more medications, and it's back and forth. So symptom suppressions causing the body to deteriorate to the point that people will just give up and go like, yeah, this is how it is. That's how it's my dad or my mom, or yeah, it's in the family, And a lot of people they hear it on the news or on the TV or from other people, and they go like, oh, okay, so this is what it is. This is how it's supposed to be. They don't see the people who are in their 70s and 80s, and they are like functioning on a high level. They're like have strong physical abilities. They can enjoy life. They can travel. They can do whatever they want to do, and they are healthy as hell without any medications. So yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the education of what health really is and what the conception is.
Yeah, it's so funny when people have these closed off minds, how they kind of ostrich and they put their head in the sand when presented with an example of someone that doesn't get sick, with someone that is 100 years old and still walking around and healthy and never had any of the chronic illnesses of society around them. They just kind of brush that off because it doesn't fit within their like mental programming. It doesn't compute for them. They just, well, that must have, been an outlier or something. And there must be something special about them, or they just don't think about it at all as they go throughout their day. And it's such a clown mentality, unfortunately. And there's really no other way around it. It's so ignorant and so foolish and so self-sabotaging and small-minded to really kind of abide by the medical construct that's been painted that we are all going to get sick and die. We are fundamentally flawed. Everything's disease. Everything's sick. Everything's unwell. And all the ways that these people behave and that they think and the things they say, they're so easily dismantleable or able to, kind of crack apart how there's no logic in the way they think. Like you said, the body has absolutely beautiful detoxification pathways and organs and systems of organs that can protect us even in the face of a barrage of chemical toxins and emotional toxins and all this. Our body will do what it can to get rid of those things, but it can only take so much. It can only take so much, and that might take years for it to get to its capacity. It might take decades for it to get to its capacity. It can take a lot of misuse and abuse. And so because it takes that time, all that time while people are making these horrible decisions, they'll often say the mantra, well, I do this and this and I'm fine. I'll do this and this and I'm fine. And then decades later, they have the health issues, and then they don't put the 1 + 1 = 2. They just think, oh, well, that was always going to happen anyway. Oh my God. How do you deal with these people, Dr. Rami? They
That's
frustrate me to no
exactly
end.
right, man. That's exactly right. I mean, I've seen a lot of people who they take one aspect of being healthy and they go like, "Oh, I work out." Great, but what's your diet like? How many hours do you sleep? Do you drink enough water? Do you manage your stress? I work out every day. I mean, I run. I go for a run. I do this and do that, and but okay, there's other aspects to your health. It's a puzzle. You put it all together. You work on all these items, little by little, every single day to become healthy. And health is not even a destination. It's not like you become healthy and you go, I got it. I got to the finish line. I don't have to do anything anymore. I'm healthy. No, I mean, health is something that you need to work on every single day. And a lot of people, they don't want to put this effort, they don't want to put this consistency, this commitment to their health because they were like, no, I will just take a pill. I mean, I have a headache, I have a pain, I have a fever, whatever it is. Instead of doing this, and this, and looking at, oh, what my diet is, maybe this is what's causing it. Yeah, I'll just take an Advil. I'll be good. I'll go to sleep. Next day, I will do the same thing. I mean, a majority of people, they're running away from sitting and listening to their body. They're like trying to be busy all day long. They go, oh, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Well, let me tell you, you're going to have the time when you get sick, because when you get sick, there's no way around it. You're going to sit and you're going to just
Yeah.
heal and recover. So it's better to put a little bit of the time right now so you don't have to put a lot of time and a lot of money later on.
Yeah, exactly. Health is not a lazy man's game. It's not a lazy man's game. You have to put in work, both physically, but also mentally. If we want to ever be healthy, there are no quick fixes, there are no hacks, there are no, tricks to trick our body and get around our biology. It's not that complicated, really, in overall schema of things to keep our bodies right. It's really not that hard once you break the cycle of all of these standard things that are so unhealthy. But that's the thing. You have to break the cycle because most people have just been raised in what is the default of society. And the
Mhm.
default of society in any realm is going to probably be killing you. Is no hyperbole, I don't think. The default food of society kills you. The default water of society kills you. The default air, the default clothing, the default everything. Unfortunately, has been so inverted and so made to be corrupt and backwards and not in favor of the end consumer. It's just the everyday person. And it's such a sad state of society that we see ourselves in, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. Is it hard? Yes, but what's worth putting the work in if not on your own health? Because, like you said so wonderfully, you have to pay now or you're going to pay later. You
Mhm.
don't get around paying the price of the time and the effort or possibly the money to put into your health. You can, slowly invest over time, or you can let yourself get sick and your body's going to demand it. Your body demands to be taken care of. And it'll
Exactly.
have patience, but that patience is going to run out. And you're going to get surprised with a hefty payment. It's it's crazy, man. And so let's talk about one of your pillars. So you are more than any one thing in yourself and in your wellness center. One of your four pillars is chiropractics. And chiropractics is such a controversial field and a controversial art and a controversial practice. Can you tell me what your journey with chiropractics is and why you got into that in the first place? Was it always something that you kind of had on your radar, or how did you journey into becoming a chiropractor yourself?
So a funny thing, I've never known of the existence of a chiropractic or chiropractic care till like 2007. So I grew up in Syria, and we grew up in a family that is oriented towards medical fields. So you need to become a medical doctor. This is like kind of like the highest rank over there, social status, the whole thing. You make so much money, or it's the best job you can get. So everybody is geared towards that way. And this is what we studied. This is what we learned. This is what we grow up around. So when I came here, I had a back injury from back home when I was in Syria. I was like 20 something. I injured my back really badly during working out. So we're building muscles, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger style. No proper form, no proper training. So one of the exercises really messed me up, and I had flare-ups every several months, and every time I'm like in bed for several days, taking pain medications, taking muscle relaxers. I came here 2005, came to the States, and I got into a couple car accidents, and then somebody in 2007, I was like, hey, why don't you go see a chiropractor? I was like, what is the chiropractor? So he was like, oh, they do this and this. They deal with car accidents, deal with injuries and pain, all this kind of stuff. So all right. So I went and I saw a chiropractor there. Was mostly neck pain, stiffness, all this whiplash injury symptoms. And my first visit, I went to the front desk checking out, and I was expecting like, okay, I'm gonna get my prescription or something. I was like, do I get any medication? They were like, we don't do medication here. It's a natural healing. It's like, what? That's different. Never heard of it before. So I stayed with the chiropractor for several months, and I noticed my back pain is getting much lower, and I'm not having those flare-ups. And I was like, okay, so it helps like my whole entire body. I kept it in the back of my head. I did not like jump right into it, because to me, the way I grew up, the way I was programmed, these things like natural healing or natural medicine, it's all like crazy talk. It was like, what is this? Those are crazy people. We don't go there. So it took me a while to get out of the medical mind, to open my mind more to like, all right, the body can really heal itself, can really be healthier and better. At the time, I was that person that I was talking about. I was working out, but I was extremely unhealthy. My food was awful. My sleep was awful. My hydration was awful. I was drinking so much sugary drinks. So I'm always sick. Like every year, I get the flu once or twice, and I'm like getting the flu like 1 week in bed. And I have like joint aches and lethargic. I'm not healthy. I'm big, have muscles, but extremely unhealthy. So 2016, I joined chiropractic school, and I graduated 2019. My school is a lot of it's evidence-based school. So they talk about treating injuries, treating pains, neck pain, let's say this is a protocol for it, 6-7 weeks, whatever it is, and then you release the patient, right? So I graduated practicing that. Just chiropractic care with some rehabilitation exercises. The pain is gone, and I was like priding myself, like I can get results right away. You come to me with pain, in a couple sessions, the pain will be gone. And the person who I released because they don't have symptoms anymore, they come back a month or two later, same symptoms, same area, same thing. I was like, okay, there's something's not working then. This is not what it is. So that's where I also start expanding my knowledge about chiropractic care, the philosophy of chiropractic, how it first all started. And I learned about how chiropractic care can release the spine from subluxation, which release the nerve interference and will allow optimal connection between our nervous system, which is the master system that runs everything in our body, and the rest of our body. So if we have any subluxation that causes nerve interference, and these nerves are going to a vital organ or system in your body, this system is not going to get all the information from the brain, and the brain's not going to get the right feedback from that system, and they're not going to be in homeostasis, and that organ's going to start to function abnormally and going towards unhealthy status. So that took me a bit to kind of comprehend. I seek a lot of mentors, and I trained with other chiropractors who are practicing the philosophy of chiropractic. So I was like, okay, I need to start implementing that. I need to start telling my patients, telling my clients who are coming in, chiropractic, it's not the other Advil. It's not like a quick fix for a neck pain or a back pain, and then you go back and you do the same stuff over and over again and allow that spine to go into misalignment. Because think about it. We're using our spine all day long. Even when we sleep in twisted positions and stuff like that. So subluxation is going to happen. Whether you're doing yoga, whether you're exercising, whether you're healthy or not, it's going to happen. But it's going to happen on either every other day or every other week. It depends. So spinal alignment is a crucial component to keep the spine healthy, to keep the communication between the nervous system and the body healthy and optimal, so we can get healthier and better. So this is where I switched my philosophy from chiropractic adjustments to what we call it now, spinal alignment and nervous system optimization, because that's what it is.
Yeah, it's such a shame when people dabble into a more holistic art or healing art such as chiropractics and try to apply a conventional medicine mindset to that art, because then inherently they're going to end up with the conclusion or thought that, well, this didn't work. Well, you're looking for the wrong results. You're looking to go to the grocery store and get a television. Like it's not, that's not what we do here. That's not how this arena operates, and that's not kind of the rules of the game. And so it's great that you were able to open your mind to the deeper element of it, because I certainly don't think that all chiropractors do, or people that study chiropractics, because it's become so commercialized and it's become so commonplace that a lot of it has unfortunately become watered down. So although I think attending somewhere like your office would be a wonderful idea, I would certainly hold a recommendation and not necessarily advocate for someone calling up the first, local chiropractor they see and say, oh, yes, let me go there, and trust them wholeheartedly, right? There's such a wide range of knowledge base and experience and deep comprehension between what's just taught in a general chiropractic school to get your license or certification and someone that really has the healing knowledge and that kind of deeper understanding of the work. And how does that make you feel? How do you feel about the stigma that chiropractics has kind of developed over time? Because I think those people that are on the lower end of the knowledge, perhaps, that's what people think of when they think of chiropractics. They don't necessarily think of, because they haven't been exposed to, the people that are at that deeper level. How do you deal with that? The people that kind of have that stigma now?
It's an uphill battle, man. I mean, it takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of work and effort to be able to convince people and show people results, because the results of health and results of vitality, they don't show in like a session or two or a week or two. It takes a while. And you need to get out of your head of like, okay, I'm coming here for symptoms, or like, let's see how my health and vitality is different. Am I operating differently? Am I having more energy? Am I sleeping better? Is my nutrition is better? So a lot of people, they don't look at that. They don't look just on symptoms, because majority of our chiropractors, sadly, they practice that way. And that's, in my opinion, it's because of the system of the insurance, because majority of chiropractors, they take insurance. I don't, because insurance, they dictate for you what you can treat and what not. And once you don't have symptoms anymore, there's no reason for them to keep paying for you to keep treating the patient. They don't offer wellness care. Some of them now do. They give like 10, 12 visits a year. But also, sadly, because the compensation is so low, the care that you get from the chiropractor and the time that you get from the chiropractor is very minimal. It's like I go to my medical doctor and for my physical checkup. I'm in and out in like 10 minutes. We sit there. He talks to me for like 5 minutes, and the other 5 minutes, the nurse is taking my blood pressure, and I'm out. I was like, how is this a physical? You didn't even touch me. We didn't talk about, you didn't dive deep into what I do, what my lifestyle is, where I'm getting, what's the trajectory of my health or my life. Same thing happened now with chiropractors because they won't have a big quantity of patients to be able to make ends meet because the compensation is so low. So your time with them is in and out. It's like you're on a conveyor belt. You come in, you get adjusted, and you keep going. You learn nothing about your health, and you learn nothing about chiropractic care. So like I go to a chiropractor, and my chiropractor does the same thing. And I am educated of chiropractic care and health. And sometimes when I go there and I sit there and I contemplate, should I be here or not? Because I feel like every single time is the same thing. I don't know what's going on. And I put myself into somebody who don't know really chiropractic. And I was like, no wonder people, they don't like chiropractic care, or they think it's a scam, or it's like a BS, because you come in, you get the same adjustments, and you leave. The act is correct, but the education is not there. Why am I getting those adjustments? Because people are going to start thinking of, every time I go there, he does the same thing. Yeah, because that's what it is. But this same thing causes this and this and this in your body. So this education part is completely absent. And this is one of our pillars here. Our fourth pillar is lifestyle transformation, is all about education. We hold monthly workshops. We talk about health issues, and we talk about how to become healthier naturally. My talk with my patients before and after every adjustment is about that. Explain to them how to become healthier, talking to them about their health lifestyle. Because if we don't take care of that aspect, nothing we can do here that can help them. Not even chiropractic care, not even body strengthening, not even nothing. If you're going to be healthy just when you come here to your appointment and go to an unhealthy lifestyle, that's not going to work.
Yeah, that was very well put and very well said. When you put your hand on the fire, you're going to get burned. When you dance with the devil, you're going to get betrayed. And so once insurance gets involved, it's just a mess. And at that point, it's really not in the end consumer's favor. And this goes back to a whole economic discussion that we could have about why people have to rely on insurance and what insurance covers and this and that. Again, this goes back to what we said earlier. Nobody said it was going to be easy. Nobody said it was going to be cheap to maintain your health. You might have to pay out of pocket. Hopefully you're able to do better financially to be able to afford proper care for yourself. Use that as an incentive to work harder and do better. That's just at the end of that discussion. Health costs in some sort of way, and people don't want to extend themselves, or sometimes can't extend themselves to be able to afford the due healing that they need. Of course, healing practitioners need to get paid. I don't even know what you charge, but you probably undercharge for what you really do to transform these people's lives. But obviously you have yourself to take care of as well. And so that's a whole economic discussion we don't have to get into, but I do advocate for anyone to use that as motivation. If it's hard, use that as motivation to do better financially and afford better care for yourself, because you are worth it, or at least you should be to yourself.
Right.
The word you keep using, I want to dive into a little bit more. You keep saying vitality, and one of your tenets is to increase vitality. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to live as someone that has like a high vitality?
So I'll give you myself as an example. As I told you, I worked out all my life, and I was big, muscles, whole thing. I was not healthy whatsoever. I did not have core strength. I did not have a proper nutrition. I did not have energy. And I'm talking about in my 20s. In my 20s, I was feeling like I'm as sluggish as like 50 years old. Vitality happens when you're taking care of every aspect of your health, and you're allowing your body to recover and to heal from within. So like in my opinion, in my philosophy, in my belief, nothing that you can bring from the outside, not even all the health avenues that are out there, whether it's, let's say, infrared sauna or laser or cold plunge or all this kind of stuff. They're great, but they're not going to work if the inside is unhealthy. If your body from the inside is not getting the proper needs that, for it to be healthy. So right now, I'm 46. I take care of my nutrition. I cut all this American food and trans fats and sugar and all this great things. When we came here, this is all we want to eat. And I'm sleeping better. I have a set schedule for my sleeping. So I still sleep the same amount of time, actually, even less. I used to sleep 10 hours to be able to function. Now I'm sleeping 7 to 8 hours, but I have a morning routine and an evening routine. I go to bed at a certain time. I wake up at a certain time. My body's used to this clock, and my body's resting throughout those 8 hours. My nutrition, my hydration is different. I'm not drinking sugary water or sugary drinks anymore. I'm hydrating with water, which is supposed to be. My intake of vegetables and fruits and all the natural food is top right now. I don't eat anything else that is processed. So now how I feel like I'm about 35 or 33 even years old in strength and my energy level, how I feel mentally. So this is what vitality to me. As you grow older, right, chronologically, you don't have to grow older biologically as well. Right, you can still be functioning on a higher level. You can still function with a strong body, with a lot of vitality to explore and to experience life to its fullest. The opposite of that, when you get to a point where you spend all your life working to build your financial stability, you're buying your house, your dream car, or everything, but you end up with a frail, sick, disabled body, how are you going to enjoy all that? You can't.
Yeah, it's a fantastic point, and perhaps you'd agree that vitality is kind of another way of describing like life force or like energy or just that inner fire and flame that some people have, that people feel it. You can instantly feel when someone walks in a room how vital they are, whether they're a man, whether they're a woman. It just carries such an ambiance. It carries such a flare of energy around them, and it's like a zing factor. Like, who is this person? And it's like radiant around them because their aura is so vast and powerful around them. And so what we're talking about there, it kind of sounds like that keeping that aura to you, that energy to you, that just allows you to navigate this world more effectively, more attractively, more efficiently, and overall kind of having a better time. So it's certainly a great goal to aspire to kind of keep that energy and build that energy and really never let go of it. Because if we're not striving for that, I think then we are withering away. You're either progressing in vitality or life force, or you're dying slowly or quickly. But I don't think there's any way to ever stay stagnant as a human when it comes to kind of that vitality or really anything in life. And so another one of your pillars of your business is mindfulness. Can you explain what that means to you? What does it mean to be mindful, and why is it such an essential part of your business?
So mindfulness practices, in my opinion, is one of the most important things you can do for your health, mentally and physically, because this is how you tap into your body. This is how you tap in and you go like, what did I do throughout the day? How do I feel right now? Did what I eat help me or no, harm me? Did I last night, because I stayed a little bit longer and had a couple beers, did that serve me today or not? If you don't tap into this, if you don't give yourself this 10 to 15 minutes before you go to bed, preferably. This is why I usually do it, because I want to audit my day. And I'll go like, what worked? What didn't work? So what worked, I need to journal it, and I need to, okay, this helped me, and what worked, I need to journal it as well. Like I didn't feel good. Like maybe I felt good at the moment when I drank that beer or whatever I did, but afterwards, it's not. I felt bad the next day. I was lethargic. I was not feeling my best. If you don't tap into your body and understand it and understand what works and what doesn't work, you're never going to be able to achieve any goal, because you don't know what works for you. You don't know what works for you mentally or physically. Plus, we're always like on all day long, we're in a fight or flight mode. Like our nervous system is firing up, whether you're stuck in traffic or you're on a deadline or you're at work or you're taking care of your kids or whatever it is. You come back home, and most people, what they do, they chug a glass of wine or something like that. This is their relaxation method. And they go to bed. They put them to bed, but they give them a crappy sleep. Even if they don't feel that they're waking up, their sleep cycles are super bad. So other than that, you come back with the other way to relax is to give yourself this 10 to 15 minutes to forget about everything outside and just go within, focus on your breath, focus on yourself, relax your mind, relax your body, and go into this parasympathetic state so you can have a better night of sleep. See, like we have our relaxation lounge. I put the relaxation lounge. We put massage chairs in there because I want people also to relax their body. But the main purpose of it is to relax their mind. Because when they come to me, they're stuck in traffic, or they're coming from work, or they're like during their lunch break, they're go, 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 go. You go and you try to adjust them. First of all, their body is so stiff, the adjustment's not going to be comfortable. Second of all, the nervous system is firing up in this fight or flight mode. So all these connections is going to be not great connections. So I want to go to the relaxation lounge. You sit there for 15 minutes. You relax this body, but I want you also to breathe and relax your mind. So when you come and you lay on the table, you get the most benefit of your chiropractic adjustment.
Yeah, I really agree with that in kind of a way to live in totality, right? It only makes sense to self-analyze every bit of our day. And when we do, then we can learn from every bit of our day, no matter how big or small an activity or an event or an occurrence or an experience, no matter how big or small any of those things are. If we're analyzing them and how we partook in that event or how that event kind of impacted us in the way it played out and the relation between the two, only then can we, or then we'll surely learn something. Whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether it was fun, whether it was awful, we can learn something from it and why it was the way it was. And from that, come away with, oh, okay, how can I best act in the future or better act in the future to optimize that experience when that happens again, or apply the lessons to whatever other experience I might have in my day-to-day life. And just people aren't doing this. It's so insane. It's so insane how people kind of just la-di-da through life, and they wake up and seem to stumble their way through their day until they just pass out and go to sleep and then just wake up and do it again. It's crazy, man. We have like brainless zombies out here that just don't self-analyze. How can you ever expect to progress on any front if you don't even know where you are? How can you know where you're going if you don't know where you've come from and where you are right now? You know, people are just kind of like throwing darts in the dark. They're like trying to be at the wheel of their life with a blindfold on, and they don't ever stop to look at the map. It's truly insane, and I don't think it has to be something so rigid. I'm not a very rigidly organized person. Like, I don't journal, I don't write a lot of things down, but I analyze everything. From how I picked up this cup of coffee to how strong it is, to what time did I drink it, to how quickly did I drink it, to what beans did I use, to how finely ground is it, and how am I getting a result out of all of those things combined. And like that's such a small example, but I analyze all those things and then optimize them to move forward in my day and then have an optimal experience. And I've perfected the art of making my own coffee. And now I can go about my day that much better and that much more efficient. And that's a funny example, but the same goes for our performance at our job or our work, whatever that may be, our sleep. How are we going to sleep? What direction are we facing when we're sleeping? Are we on our side, on our back, on our stomach? Only through looking at these things and studying them can they ever get better. And this is kind of what I call meditation. You have alluded to the concept of taking the time to slow down and kind of purge away from the hecticness of life. And I don't know, I don't think you applied the word meditation to it, but the common use of the word meditation is kind of that like stigmatized, just clear your mind and think about nothing. And to me, exactly what you described in mindfulness, this conscious existence as we navigate life and thinking about our thinking and thinking about our experiences. To me, that's a art of meditation. It's like meditative living because you're always kind of at that meta level while you're also in the present moment. And that really allows you to be in the present moment when you can also kind of step back. What is your thoughts on meditation? Do you use it synonymously in the mindfulness way, or do you have an advocacy for it otherwise?
Not necessarily. So I meditate not necessarily every day. I'm like you. I when I sit by myself, I sometimes just analyze. And there are certain things that I cannot convert them into sentences to write. They're in my mind. I can still verbalize and put them into sentences. So this is something that I for myself I call it meditation. I don't sit in that lotus position and all this kind of stuff. Meditation for me is just going within and looking forward. Most likely what I use meditation for is to visualize, to see what my next iteration going to be, the next iteration for my business going to be, how I can help more, how can I optimize what I do. Mindfulness is exactly what you described in the cup of coffee example, is like being present, being cautious and mindful about what you're doing. Don't just go through your day doing stuff and not thinking of any of them, not experiencing what you're doing, not taking a second to like, okay, I'm here now, right? So I'll give you an example. There's a lady when we first started coming here. She's always busy and she's always a little bit late because she's busy and blah, blah, blah. So she comes in and we took her to the relaxation lounge and she comes out fine. The second time she came in, she was like, can we skip the relaxation lounge? I was like, I mean, for sure. But why is that? She was like, I come out more stressed. I was like, how do you come out more stressed? She was like, oh, because I'm in there. I'm thinking of a million things I need to do. And blah. Because that defines the purpose of it. The purpose of it to be in there and to be mindful and to be there, to be just present for this 10 minutes. Give yourself this 10 minutes. Can you just do that one time for me? So when she started to learn to do that, now she loves it. Now she's going in there. A lot of people, they go through their day, they are not thinking about themselves or what they're doing whatsoever. It's just like an autopilot, right? And they come at night, they go to bed, sleep. Next day, they do the same thing over and over again. So mindfulness for me is a practice that you can apply throughout your day. And this is why I tell my clients as well. So this is the 10 to 15 minutes here for you to learn how to be mindful so you can replicate that throughout your day. So you can be present throughout your day.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of escapism in that. I think when people are fearful or feel very stressed out about being alone with their thoughts, it's because they really have some thoughts that they need to be alone with and they need to face. There's something in there that is stirring something up, that reaction, that stress, that, you know, whatever's going on, that it's when we're just on the move, go without self-analysis, we can kind of feel like we're running away from that thing unconsciously or subconsciously. But when things start to slow down, suddenly that, inner demon kind of starts to catch up with us and starts to kind of creep up into our minds. And so I would say someone that's experiencing that kind of feeling is probably the person who needs it needs it the most.
Yeah.
Um,
I dealt with that. I mean, sitting with your thoughts is not easy, and it takes. I mean, it took me years to be able to really sit and deal with my thoughts too, because everybody has some thoughts, and from their upbringing, from their environment, their past life, and some of them are not great. They're not great to sit and think through them, and I felt the tendency to escape multiple times. I don't want to do it, and it happens multiple times, but the consistency of it is what got me over the hump, where I can really sit. And even if I'm having like the worst day, quote unquote, I can still learn from it. I can say like, okay, what went wrong? Okay, why? Okay, let's learn not to do that next time. Rather than beating yourself up and not want to sit and acknowledge that you had a bad day because there's this behavior that need to be tweaked and this behavior need to be tweaked. No, you just go like drink some alcohol and go to bed, and next day do the same thing over and over again. That's what makes your life less happier, right? And gets you into anxiety and gets you into depression.
do you think all people are even capable of mindfulness? And I'm not talking about are they practicing it now? Do you think there's people out there that genuinely are not capable of living in a mindful way, either because they're perhaps too stupid, perhaps they are not a souled being, perhaps they have something going on with them that there's just a disconnect there. Is that going on, you think?
That's a really profound question, my man. And uh, I want to give some people the benefit of the doubt, and I would say yes. I mean, there's probably some cases. There's some mental health issues that need to be supervised, need to be so that brings us to medicine, like mushrooms and facilitators and all this trend that's happening right now, which is great trend. I love it, and I love that's showing up to the surface and it's becoming more accepted by people. Because there are some people who need that. I have a friend who I've been working with for about 3 months now, and I got him through. He was like way down to the point that he was threatening to kill himself. To now he's accepting like, okay, I want to go and get care. I understand what I need, and I want to go and get care. I want to do this. I'm going to change my life. But through all these months, he still needs some support. He still needs somebody to be with him in the beginning to be able to sit with his thoughts. So yeah, I believe there's certain people, there are certain conditions that need to be more supervised, but in the right avenues. Because most people, they think, oh, we're getting help. All right, you go and see like a psychotherapist or whatever it is. So they prescribe you medications to just suppress that depression or whatever you're dealing with, rather than a change in the behavior or change in the mentality and making you feel and making you get to a better state. So it depends on the help. In my opinion, nature provides the best medicine, mushrooms, and all the supervised psychedelic treatments. I'm all about. They're great. I had them, and they changed my life. They changed who I am as a person. They changed the trajectory of my life. They gave me a vision. They gave me purpose, and this is probably what started the birth of PyroLife.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, psychedelics are certainly an intriguing avenue. And it's interesting, have the dichotomy you just presented of, psychotherapists over here and then given drugs, and then mushrooms or psychedelics on that realm of things. A few episodes ago, I had a psychotherapist who also does the psychedelics too. So it's cool that even those are starting to kind of intertwine and intermix. But Yeah, they are a very powerful tool, and I am not certainly not opposed to the ones that come from nature. I struggle to say I'm an advocate for them though, because I don't think everyone should. I think there's a lot of people that don't have any business exploring altered states of consciousness, perhaps because of where they're at in even a standard state of consciousness. I think they're such a powerful tool that it takes a lot of responsibility and consciousness in the utilization to make it a positive and impactful and good experience. I've done hefty amounts of psychedelics myself and have had fantastic times. For me, it's never been a I learned something with them. It's always been a more of a I've confirmed things. I think someone that's not living in a mindful way, if they just drop some psychedelics, it's too dissonant. Their standard kind of state and the state that will like harshly open them up to. And perhaps some people can handle that sharp and drastic kind of jump. But I really do advocate for someone embarking on a mindfulness journey, at least for a bit of time, to kind of get that momentum before implementing that like nitrous oxide in to make a metaphor of a car in that in that direction of that journey to kind of like give it that extra oomph. That's usually my advocation, and it really takes a strong bearing on oneself because like I said, it's like adding fuel to a fire and sparking it at the same time, and you really want to make sure that you know what you're doing. But yeah, I really also enjoy the resurgence of the natural medicine that we see and the more societal acceptance movements that we're seeing around these tools. Is it are they something that you use in your practice at all, or?
No, we don't use that in our practice. We're not licensed to do that, but we have affiliation with facilitator that we can refer to if needed. And to your point, Zach, I mean, it just like everything in life, it boils down to your why. If you're using the psychedelic and you have a shitty why, you're not going to get good results, right? But if you're using psychedelic to connect with the higher self, to connect with the source, to learn, to see, they're phenomenal. I mean, I've seen people taking psychedelics and going to the clubs and having great time. Did they learn anything? No. But there are some people who took psychedelic either with facilitator or by themselves if they have the right mindset, the right why, and they learned so much. They learned about themselves. They changed themselves. They changed they are. So it all boils down to how you're using it and why you're using it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that they're too disrespected in the use of them. I really don't like to look at psychedelics as like party drugs or stuff like that. So yeah, things like mushrooms, DMT, ayahuasca. I only have experience with mushrooms out of the that list, but I really think that they're just not. I still think they're not respected enough as a true healing substance, and that's a shame because the people going and doing like the party are kind of part of why they have a bad name in the first place. Um, but is what it is. I would like to talk about something very important. Very important. I understand it's a very important part of your business. Can you tell us who is Malachi?
Uh, yeah, Malachi is an important part of my life, not just my business. Malachi is my first dog. I always wanted a husky, and I don't know anything about dogs. I decided to get my boy. I was still in school, actually. I was still about a year and a half before graduation, and I was sending like messages to breeders and stuff like that. I want a husky with blue eyes and this and blah blah blah. So one lady sent me a picture of Malika. He was a year old, brown eyes, and I instantly fell in love. I was like, definitely, this is my dog. And it's been a blessing, man. It's been a blessing. Brought so much joy to my life, brought so much love to my life. I love him to death. He's with me here every single day. He go with me everywhere. And he's such a good boy. People love him, patients love him. He just like yeah, he's a huge part of my life, that's for sure.
It's really beautiful to see someone having a relationship with an animal that truly captures the healing nature of our relationship with animals. Like you said, he's such an essential part of your life and your journey. And I myself have dogs as well. And they themselves, I don't want to refer to them as a tool because they're so much more than that. But, having relationships with animals is such a powerful tool as well in a healing journey. It's amazing the things that we can learn, not just from watching them, but also from watching ourselves with them. And so I think it's super cool the way that you have him in your office and the way that patients can interact with them with him because like the way that you live, your energy is going to be kind of emanating from him as well. And it's kind of like this feedback back and forth. And so as patients can interact with him, they'll kind of be absorbing that energy as well, even more without even realizing it necessarily. It's just kind of that like exudance of love and positivity and acceptance. And it's really an amazing healing thing that animals can be in our lives. And it is also unfortunate that most people probably aren't either consciously aware of or even, treating their animals accordingly. But that's a bit of an aside. It's awesome. I just wanted to.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I tell you, I mean, it changed my health too. Before I get my cat, so there is a park literally 5 minutes walk from my house.
Yeah.
I lived in that neighborhood for 10 years and I did not know even that it's existed. Till I got Malachi and I have to walk him. And now I freaking enjoy walking. And we go on about an hour walk in the morning, an hour walk in the evening. I love it. It's a meditative walk for me. I just, be there with my thoughts. He loves it. My health is better. So if you don't have a dog, get a dog and go for a walk every single day. It's amazing to get this fresh air, to be in nature. It's the best thing you can do for your health.
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine a life without dogs at this point. It just sounds so sad, just to even have more life around you, even if I'm just sitting in my house at my computer, just the fact that, a little thing comes walking up and is, even if I don't have time to play with them right now, just having them around is such a beautiful and healing thing. And I really enjoy that you incorporate him into, your practice because it's part of your life and he's part of your life. It's wonderful. And I just wanted to give a shout out there because it's, it's really a part of emotional healing as well. That's super cool. Do you think that everybody should be attending a chiropractor or some sort of adjacent bodily manipulation healing art form and having their body kind of adjusted on a regular basis? Is that an inherent kind of built-in experience that people are supposed to be having?
Yes, I do believe that 100%. And I came to the belief of that after graduating from chiropractic school and practicing for a couple of years before I came to this realization and believe in this philosophy. I mean, you're not necessarily going to feel, not only not necessarily, most likely you're not going to feel disc degeneration. You're not going to feel spinal degeneration till it's too late, right? So a lot of people go like, I'm good. I don't have any pain in my back. Yeah, great. You don't have any pain, but do you think your back is healthy? I mean, aside from the nervous system being healthy and optimized connection with the rest of the body. Is your spine by itself healthy? Is it moving properly? Do you have full range of motion? When you twist, are all the vertebrae are twisting, or like some of them are stuck and the rest of them are twisting way too much and causing more wear and tear on them? Sadly, people, they don't look at that till they have symptoms and they go and get an x-ray or get an MRI or something like that. They go, oh, you don't have disc here. You're kind of bone on bone here. It's too late now. It's way too late. I mean, you're not going to get back to a healthier spine at a certain point. There is certain, if you're in phase 1, phase 2 of degeneration, we can bring you back slowly there if you have a healthier lifestyle. But spinal hygiene, I call it, it's literally like dental hygiene. You use your teeth and you need to brush them in the morning. You need to brush them at night, and you go to the hygienist to clean them every 6 months. Other than that, you're going to have decades, that the teeth start to deteriorate. You use your spine all day, even at night when you're asleep, and your spine housing your nervous system. So in my opinion, it's a little bit more important than your teeth. To have your spine is the protector of your nervous system in a healthy state, and all the nerves that come out of it, they're not pinched with either bone spurs or a disc bulge or anything like that. So I absolutely advocate for a healthier lifestyle, but also maintaining spinal alignment and healthy spine. And some people, they go like, oh yeah, no, I do that. I crack my spine. I crack my neck all the time. It's like, this is the worst thing you can do for your body. Because what you're cracking right there with the noise that you're hearing is the segments that are already in hypermobile, because the other segments are stuck. They're not moving. So the one above and the one below, they're hypermobile a little bit. So when you do this to your neck or you twist your spine, you're going to hear some pops, but they're not giving you the mobility needed for your spine.
So is it a bad thing if people are kind of doing the twists and the little movements on themselves and hearing those pops? Because a lot of people say, oh, that's a really bad thing or whatever. Is it a good thing? Should people be kind of cracking themselves a little bit or no?
No, you cannot. No, you shouldn't be cracking yourself. If you hear those noises, I mean, that's fine. It's not a big of a problem. But people who are whipping their neck, in certain direction or not, especially it's the neck. I mean, it's very vital and it's very unstable. If the muscles are weak, and if you're whipping your neck here and there and you cause more hypermobility in those segments and making them more unstable, you're going to have some neurological issues. You're going to have some serious issues down the road. The lower back is a little bit more forgiving, but still, if you're having if your spine getting assessed by, a good chiropractor and allowing everything to be moving properly, then if you hear some crack here and there as you move throughout your day, that's fine. But if your spine is stuck and there are certain segments are moving too much and you crack them and you cause more hypermobility to them, and those segments, the stuck segments are not moving, this is not good. So it's fine to hear those noises, but it's not fine to have your daily ritual that you're cracking your own back or your own neck. You can't do that. That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's perhaps something that should be left to a proper professional to really do those like hard adjustments. But yeah, I like your term of kind of spinal hygiene and your philosophy towards that, because I wholeheartedly agree that these things that we do to take care of ourselves are always best done proactively. They're always best done and maintained before there's an issue. Ideally, you don't wait till your engine explodes to change your car's oil. You change the oil regularly, and then everything's happy, and then your engine lasts a lot longer before it starts giving you problems. So why in our bodies would we not attend, a healing practitioner such as yourself or your clinic or whatever other area of health that we're talking about? Why would we not attend such a, experience or do such a practice when everything's good? And when we do it when everything's good, everything stays good. Because like you were saying, someone's discs might be slightly off and it's not enough where you're getting symptoms or you feel it yet, but a little off ignored most likely becomes more off and more off. Things don't normally just kind of right themselves back into place, maybe sometimes, but wouldn't it be a better idea to, oh, things are slightly off, I didn't even realize, bam, let me make sure it's back into place and kind of reset the clock, if you will, of things kind of getting askew. Because the body takes a beating. Everybody's body takes a beating. I don't care if you're a bodybuilder and in the gym 3 hours a day every day, or if you're a desk worker at the desk for 10 hours a day and don't do anything else, or anywhere in between. The world is hard on a body.
Mhm.
So why aren't we maintaining them before the sirens and alarm bells of our body having extreme pain and issues that we can, put our thumb on? Why aren't we, keeping it in a state of health and allowing it to get into a state of unwellness before we do anything? It's so silly. It's so asinine. But then that kind of falls back into how people have been led into this allopathic model of looking at the body and looking at health of, the only thing there is to do about anything is symptom treatment and symptom management.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's certainly a fundamental shift in someone's mind that has to occur if they ever wish to start to be healthy in the long term and keep themselves healthy in the long term. And another one of your pillars here in your business is lifestyle transformation. Now, this is a vague umbrella term, perhaps, and perhaps a lot of what we've covered already has kind of fallen into this discussion. But what are the key elements of lifestyle transformation in your eyes outside of your clinic, that someone has to kind of keep up on in your recommendations?
Right. So, Zach, the health journey starts with awareness, right? Awareness that the body has certain requirements, has certain needs to be healthy and to stay healthy. And after that, it's education, to educate yourself about what these needs are, and then growth to implement them into your daily life, and then your health goes up. So, with our lifestyle transformation means is we need to look at what you're doing throughout your day. So when you come to my consultation, for example, I'm less concerned about where your pain is and how often it comes. Yes, this is something that you're concerned about, and I want to deal with it for you. But I want to learn about what do you do throughout your day? How do you sit? How do you move? How do you lift? What do you eat? How do you sleep? Because all these things are the real problem that led you to these symptoms that you're experiencing. So if we were going to just adjust you or give you some stretches and exercises to deal with this issue that you came to us for, and we're now looking at what caused that you're sitting on one side more than the other, or when you lift, you bend your back all the way down, or the way you eat, the way you sleep. Nothing going to change in your health. So the lifestyle transformation is the major key for you to start to have healthy lifestyle. Because if you're doing multiple things correct, and there's one thing that is not correct, let's say you're good on your nutrition and water and exercise, but you don't sleep well, or you don't sleep at all, or you still drink sugary drinks, things gonna start to go off track, and you're not gonna get the good results that you need. So with our education zone, this is what we educate people about various topics. So each month we're talking about various topics. Last month we talked about how to boost your immune system. This month we're talking about how to protect your lower back from injuries. And we all bring it into the umbrella of the health and wellness. So even with your lower back, everything can influence it. Your sleep, your inflammatory diet, the lack of hydration. It's not just, oh, I have muscle stiffness or I need to adjust my back. Because even if I adjust your back, but you have so much inflammation coming from your diet, it's not going to be good. You're going to still have symptoms. You're going to still have inflammation in that area. So the lifestyle transformation for me was kind of the first thing that came to mind when I'm birthing PyroLife. Because if you don't know what to do to be healthy, you're never going to be able to be healthy.
Yeah. So PyroLife, that is your wellness center, I believe you call it.
Mhm.
Can you talk about the history of that and why that came to be, and how it is that you're working with people? Because I imagine you're doing chiropractic adjustments, perhaps, but you also just mentioned like you're teaching classes on these different topics every month. So what is the Pyro Life experience? Can you walk me through what all it entails at your wellness center? Like, what is someone doing there?
Of course. So PyroLife is a transformative experience, right? It gives you unparalleled support, right, to empower you to experience life to its best. So our four pillars, as we were talking, the first one is the spinal alignment and nervous system optimization, and that's the chiropractic side of it, but not pain management chiropractic. It's health and wellness chiropractic. But with that, you're going to need strong body. You're going to need muscle mass. As you know, muscle mass is the number one indicator of longevity. If we don't have enough muscle mass and strength, our body going to become weaker and weaker and weaker. So our body is allowing us to experience life, to do things that we have to do, things that we love to do. So we need to have a strong body throughout our life. And that's where our second pillar comes, the body strengthening. So we have the training zone where we partner with Oxfit. We got two of the smartest machines out there to work out. It's a more of a boutique gym experience. You come in, you work out with us. We teach you proper forms, proper exercises, how to do things, and how to become stronger. The mindfulness comes in our relaxation lounge, and the fourth pillar is our education zone, our lifestyle transformation. So how PyroLife came to life, how I birthed PyroLife, is kind of my health experience as well, and how I see my clients, since I was doing just chiropractic, just for pain relief or injury relief throughout. How can I add more value? How can I prevent this from happening again for this person? I don't want to come back for the same thing. So what's going on? Okay, it's body strengthening. This is what worked for me. I had about 5 shoulder injuries throughout my life till I really learned how to properly strengthen my back, properly strengthen my core, properly strengthen my stabilizing muscles. And now I don't have any injuries. I still do the same workouts, but I know how to strengthen everything else by giving this balance in my body so I don't have injuries. So that's what I want for my clients as well. That's why we added the training zone. Mindfulness, as I said, changed my life. It changed how I think about things, how I see things, and how I'm learning more and more about my body, my health, my life, my everything. So that's something we added because we want people to experience this benefit. And absolutely, we are on a lifelong journey of self-development, of learning every single day. This is what I do, this is what my staff do, and this is what we want the community to have. So that's why we have those monthly workshops and educational events.
Yeah, and there's the one of the pillars you mentioned that I didn't dig into yet, but I pulled up the machines that you were mentioning when you talked about the strength and the body strengthening,
Mhm.
and they look very different than what most people do when they work out. What I'm seeing there at a brief look is low impact, very fluid motions, and kind of focus on longevity, it looks like, in that body strengthening experience versus the more common free weight or machine isolated bang 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 kind of motions.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on people doing one versus the other? Is it okay to do those kind of isolated or more conventional exercises? Are they always a bad idea? What's kind of your philosophy towards body strengthening?
Well, they're not always a bad idea if they're coupled with functional training. So I'm all right with somebody who wants to do, quadricep curls on the machine. That's fine. But how is that going to help you throughout your life? So I have a client who came about a month or so ago, and he goes and he trains at LA Fitness, I believe, or some of the gyms. So I was going with them through his workout routine. What do you do? You know, oh, I do hamstrings. I do this. I do that. I was like, how do you strengthen your quads? Because for me, quad strength is very important as you age, because this is the first thing that goes away, and people, they can't walk, they lose their balance, all this kind of stuff. And he was mentioning the legs extension on the machine. I was like, do you have any activity throughout your day that you utilize this motion? He goes like, no. I was like, no, we use our legs to stand up. So you need to do squats then. And you need to use your legs in a functional way. It's like if you're trying to get something from the floor, what's the motion? So this is the motion that we need to strengthen, whether it's chops or whether it's low to high cable pulls. So functional movements or functional training is what changed my health and my body strength. And before that, when I was having those injuries, is when I was doing the just isolated muscle building, just being, built and buffed exercises. So that's fine if that's what you want. You want to have bigger muscles and you want to be buffed and stuff like that. But you also need to work on the functional muscles. And you also need to work on the stabilizing muscles to have this balance. Otherwise, you're not going to be strong enough, right? And you're going to have a lot of injuries.
Yeah, that reminds me of a really nice commercial I've seen. I don't remember what it was even for, but it shows this old man, like a grandfather age, and he starts working out and he's taking a kettlebell and he swings it between his legs and he swings it and then he picks it up and then he picks it up higher and then he picks it up higher. And then you see this old grandfather start to pick it up and like put it all the way up here. And then it just kind of shows him progressing and doing that and training that and training that. And then at the end, you see it's Christmas and his little granddaughter runs up to him and he picks her up. And then so she could put the star on the top of the tree.
Right, right. Exactly. This is exactly what we want. This is what functional training is all about. To be able to enjoy your life with your grandchildren throughout your, I mean, it's exactly, I saw a similar ad. It was, I think, a Facebook ad was very, very similar, like a lady lifting like a weight or something from the floor. And the next scene, she's a flight attendant and she's doing the same motion to put the luggage up top. And the older guy also lifting stuff to put on the shelf. Same training, same motions throughout your daily life. So this is what we need to train on.
Yeah, and it's certainly not that hard, right? To recreate whether you have a cable machine, resistance bands, a couple free weights, you can kind of imitate whatever natural motions that you might be experiencing in your day-to-day life.
Right.
So it's certainly something to keep in mind, because if you're doing exercise that's making you strong now or appear good now, however you want to, but those things are kind of going to be beating up the ligaments, beating up the joints, giving you injuries over time, it's probably not going to be, your favorite thing that you did by the time you're 60, 70, 80, 90, and all your body's parts are beat up in such a way. And so, I'm not even that old. I'm only 28, but I've already mostly switched to kind of functional and more slow paced, high repetition, less like fiery workouts. Not that you can't do those with intensity. To the contrary, you can absolutely do those with intensity. But I certainly don't want to face any more injuries than I've already faced in my stint of maniac bodybuilding. Um, so if anyone, it's hard, man, because people can only learn the hard way. A lot of these times, it often takes getting an injury to really understand just the importance of avoiding injuries.
Right.
It's a weird human experience we have being so stubborn. Um, so, Dr. Rami, where can people get in contact with you if they want to learn more about your work? Are you active on socials? What's your website people can go to? Where is your clinic located? And do you have people that kind of travel in to see you, or is it only like a local clientele you're dealing with? How can people get more Dr. Rami and Dr. Rami experience?
You're right. Yeah. So PyroLife is in Tigard, Oregon. We're right on Highway 99 and off Highway 217. So we're in a really nice strategic location where people from Beaverton, from downtown Portland, from Lake Oswego, from Tualatin, from all the surrounding areas can get to us within 10 to 15 minutes. Our website is pyrolifechiro.com. And we are on social media, mostly active on Instagram and Facebook. Our handle is at PyroLife Chiro. I think it's at PyroLife Chiro on Facebook and at PyroLife on Instagram, or vice versa. But you'll see the emblem and you'll know which one is ours. Our website has all the information about what we do, what our philosophy is, what PyroLife really is, what our core value, what our mission, and it really tells you whether PyroLife is a right fit for you or not. And in my opinion, PyroLife is the right fit for everybody if their goal and their why is to become healthier and better, not just want pain relief. Everything is in there. They can contact us through the email, through the phone number, all the contact information on our website, pyrolifechiro.com.
Are there certain actionables that you recommend universally for everyone? For example, to keep their spines in alignment or stay healthy? Like, is there certain things you definitely should do or not do? Should you sit a certain way? Should you sleep a certain way? Is there certain things you definitely shouldn't eat? What are some kind of like hardcore actionables at the root of your suggestions that people?
Right. I mean, to keep your spine in a good health, I mean, it's everybody knows it right now. You need to don't slouch when you sit, right? Sit upright, have your spine up and tall. When you drive, the same thing. A lot of people, they slouch and they start having this back issues, or they lean to one side or the other. Just keep everything stacked on top of each other. So when the vertebrae are stacked on top of each other, the spine can take so much load because this is how it's supposed to be. But once you bend it in a certain way, like if you're bending your back a little bit, even 5 pounds can put so much stress on it and cause so much damage. Sleeping wise, same thing. If you're sleeping, best thing is to sleep on your back with the neck pillow, or you can sleep on your side with a pillow between your legs. So on the internet, there's so many pictures and there's so many videos about that. But thing you need to do to keep your spine mobile is, first thing when you wake up in the morning, take your spine into full range of motion. Bend all the way down to touch your toes and stay there for a couple of seconds. Extend all the way back, bend to the side, twist each side. Same thing for your neck. Keep these joints oiled, right? Keep them moving, because when you wake up, you're stuck in one position for certain hours of the night, and you need to get those joints moving again before you head to your day and start your day and start working out.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You gotta body in motion stays in motion. So if you want it to stay in motion, you gotta get it going. And so, Dr. Rami, is there any particular take-home message that you'd like to leave our audience off with? Something you just really like to stay with them, if nothing else?
Yes. So I made a video about this a while ago, at this concept. Look at your health is like your saving account or your retirement account. You don't necessarily need it now. You don't necessarily feel that you need it now because you're 20 and 30 and you're making all this money and all this kind of stuff. This is great. But you need to make those deposits. So when you get to your 60s and 70s, you have financial stability to be able to carry you through your life. Same thing with health. You need to make those deposits now when you're 20 and 30 and 40 and you're feeling great, because you're not going to be able to feel how health is going to be when you're 70 and 80. Because if you're not doing these things right now, when you get to that point, when you get to your 70s or 60s or even 50s, you're not going to have your health the way you want it. You're not going to be able to enjoy your life the way you want it. So don't look at your health and judge your health, whether do I have symptoms right now or not. Think about it. I'm doing this for later, for my later years. I want to be that strong. I want to be that healthy when I'm 80 years old.
Absolutely. Very well said and wholeheartedly agreed with. Dr. Rami, thank you very much for coming on the show. A big thank you goes out to Dr. Rami for coming on the show. He was a super knowledgeable guy, really fun once he got going, and I'm really glad that we got to have this conversation. If I were to find myself in or near Tigard, Oregon, then I would definitely consider stopping by his shop, and I certainly recommend that you do as well. Check out his website, PyroLifeChiro.com. Really cool name. His tenets of spinal alignment, body strengthening, lifestyle transformation, and mindfulness can get someone very, very far, because all matters of health and wellness will ultimately fall under one of those. We have to get our body right and our mind right and live a proper lifestyle if we ever think that we're going to be healthy overall. Super fun. Love that he's a dog guy. Be sure to give Malachi some love from me if you decide to stop by his office. Really cool. Chiropractics gets a real bad rap, and I understand why it does. The origins of it as a practice are filled with some treachery, but that doesn't mean that the core knowledge of it isn't very real. So perhaps keep an open mind towards things that there's media hysteria about. Very often those things are very good for you at their core. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Please like this episode. Wherever you're listening to, if you're able to comment, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you have good experiences with chiropractors? Do you hate chiropractors? What did you think of Dr. Rami? What do you think of husky dogs? A lot more episodes coming your way. As always, check out ZachTheHealthKing.com to check out everything that I'm up to find my show on different platforms, to connect on social medias. If you'd like to collaborate in any way, be it being on my show, having me on your show, or if you have something else in mind, send me an email to ZachTheHealthKing@gmail.com. Again, that's ZAK, thehealthking@gmail.com. You're listening to the Health King's Court. Ancient wisdom, modern health.